Good morning, dear students. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and today is 7th of September 2021. And right now, I am with the ninth Cambridge class. We call it O1. And the subject we are studying is mathematics. We call it D Maths 4024. We are working on the D3. The name of the book is D3. We are on the chapter number 1. Today, we are working on exercise 1D, and this chapter is about the quadratic equations. Now we are working on the story sums or the word problems related with the quadratic equations. So we have already done the two lectures on this topic. Today is the third lecture on this topic. Today we are working on exercise 1D, question number 14. So it's showing up on your screen. Rui, Fang, and June, we represented their class in a 10-kilometer race. They started running at the same speed of x kilometer per hour. After 2 kilometer hour, Rui increased his speed by 1 kilometer per hour and ran the remaining distance at a constant speed of x plus 1 kilometer per hour. June, we maintained his speed of x kilometer per hour throughout the race. Write down an expression in the terms of x for the time taken by Rui to complete the race. That's the first question. Okay, so this question is related with the speed, time, and distance traveled. So you know that the distance traveled is equals to speed multiplied time, or you can say speed is equals to distance divided by time. So the first man, Rui, he is going to cover a 10-kilometer distance, and he has converted that into two portions. The first portion is of 2 kilometers, and his speed is x kilometer per hour. So the first portion he is going to cover is 2 kilometer long, and his speed is x kilometer per hour. And in the second portion of the distance will be of the course will be 8 kilometer long, and his speed will be x plus 1 kilometer per hour. So I can find out the time taken to travel, and there are two times. First time is for the first portion, which is 2 kilometer long, and the second time will be for the second portion, which will be 8 kilometer long. So what we will do, I will find out the two times, and in the same way, when I will show you the solution, then we can do that. Now, in the same way, the second question is about uh, is the second portion is about that other person, June, and he completed his the whole journey. He completed the whole 10 kilometer with the uniform speed of x kilometer. So his time can be distance divided by time, and distance divided by speed. Sorry, time is equals to distance divided by speed. So the distance is 10 kilometer, and his speed is x kilometer per hour. So we are talking about two people. One person covered 2 kilometers with the x kilometer per hour speed. His time we will find there, x, that will be 2 divided by x, and the rest of the 8 kilometer he covered with the speed of x plus 1. So t2 will be 8 divided by x plus 1. The second person, he covered the whole distance of 10 kilometer with a uniform speed of x, so his time will be 10 divided by x. He says, given that the Rui Fang completed the race 40 minutes earlier than June, formulate an equation in X and show that it reduces to this. Then we have to solve the equation, explain why you reject one of the answers, hence find the time taken by the Rui Fang to complete the race, giving your answer in hours and minutes. Okay. So this was the question. I hope that you have your books with you, and let's go to the solution. Okay. So on your screen, the solution is showing up, and let me show you. So we are talking about Mr. Rui. The total distance he has to travel is 10 kilometers, and there are two portions of that travel. One is of 2 kilometers. His speed there will be x kilometer per hour. The rest of the journey will be of 8 kilometer, and there the speed will be x plus 1 kilometer per hour. So the total time taken will be the time in the first portion and the time spent in the second portion. And we can find out the time spent in the first portion will be distance divided by speed. 2 divided by x, and the time for the second portion will be distance divided by speed, 8 divided by x plus 1. So I will take the LCM here. You can see there are two denominators, x and x plus 1. So the both will come in the denominator in the LCM. So when I will divide the LCM with this denominator, the x and x will be cancelled, x plus 1 will be left. That will multiply with the numerator. So here I have written 2 bracket x plus 1 bracket close. Then I will divide the LCM, which is x into x plus 1. I will divide with this numerator denominator. This x plus 1 will be cancelled. This x will multiply with the numerator here with 8. I mean 8x you will have. So I will have 2x plus 2 plus 8x divided by this thing. So this will make 10x plus 2 divided by x bracket x plus 1 bracket close. So that's the total time taken by the Rui Fang to complete the distance. Then we have Mr. June, and he traveled the 10 kilometer. He covered the whole distance with the uniform speed of x. So his time, let me call it t2. That will be distance divided by speed. The distance is 10 and the speed is x. So his time is 10 by x. It is given that the first person, Mr. Rui, he covered the whole journey 40 minutes earlier. So the second person took longer time. So T2 minus T1 is 40 minutes. But there is a problem. The problem is that T1 and the T2 value, they both are in hours because the speed was in kilometers per hour and the distance was kilometer. So when you apply the formula, the time will be automatically in hours. The difference of the time taken by two people, that is given in minutes. So I will convert that 40 minutes into hours. For that purpose, I will divide the 40 with 60. So you can see here that we have divided 40 with the 60. And here the T2 minus T1, we already have found them. And then here we will take the LCM. The LCM will be x bracket x plus 1. So divide this LCM with this denominator, x and x will be cancelled. X plus 1 will be left. So that x plus 1 will multiply with this 10. In the same way here, when you divide this LCM with this, the whole thing will be cancelled. So you will multiply minus 1 with this numerator. So because of this negative, I put a bracket around them because the negative will change their signs. So multiply this 10x plus 10. This will change the signs. It will become minus 10x minus 2. This bracket will this x will multiply with this bracket. It will become x square plus x equals to, you simplify this 40 by 60, that will be 2 by 3. So 10x minus 10x, they both will be cancelled. And 10 minus 2, it will be 8. Then you cross multiply, that's 3 will multiply with the 8. And this denominator will go on the other side, it will multiply with 2. So here you will have 24 equals to 2x square plus 2x. So bring this 24 to this side, so it will become 2x square plus 2x minus 24 equals to 0. You can see that here the 2 is common, so you can take the 2 common. So we will have, if you take 2 common, then you will have x square plus x minus 12 bracket close equals to 0. This 2 which is multiplying here, when it will go to the other side, it will divide. So you will have x square plus x minus 12 equals to this 2 divided by 0. 0 divided by 2, that 0 divided by 2 will give you 0. So you have that equation. This is a standard quadratic equation. And this is x square plus x minus 12 equals to 0. Here the coefficient of x square, we call it a, that is 1, and the coefficient of x, that is b, and its value is 1. The coefficient, the constant term is minus 12. So the value of the c is minus 12. So now what we will do, we will apply the quadratic formula. So here you can see I have written the quadratic formula. X is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Whenever you do these questions, every time I do this question, I will write this formula so that I never forget this formula. Then I will substitute the value of the a, b, and c in this formula. You can see here that we have substituted these values here. And then we will have minus 1 1 square will be 1, and this will give you plus 48, and 1, it will be 49. When you take the square root of the 49, that will give you 7. So finally, I came here, x is equals to minus 1 plus minus 7 divided by 2. So here you have two situations. In one situation, it will be x will be equals to minus 1 plus 7 divided by 2, and that will give you 3. The second situation is x is equals to minus 1 minus 7, the whole thing divided by 2, and that will give you the x value of minus 4. Because the x is the speed, so it cannot be negative. So I will neglect the minus 4 value. So the value of the x is 3. So a single value of x I will take, and I will further move. And then his question is the time taken by the Ruifang to complete the course. And we have done, in when we started this question, we have noted there the time taken, the total time taken by the Ruifang was 10x plus 2, the whole thing divided by x bracket x plus 1. So just put the value of the x. The value of the x you just found is 3. So I substituted the value of the x there. So my final answer will be 32 divided by 12. That will be 8 by 3. That will be 2 whole 2 by 3 hours. In your book, he asks you to write the time in hours and minutes. So my answer is 2 whole 2 by 3 hours. So the 2 hours, and I will convert 2 by 3 hours into minutes. How you do that? You multiply 2 by 3 with the 60, and you get 40. So 2 hours and 40 minutes. So the final answer will be 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's a hell of a question. Okay, so hopefully you have understood. And let me show you the whole question. Uh, so hopefully this is still not visible. Okay. Now I think you can see the whole question. So what you say? This question is about the speed, distance, and time. Do you understand this question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hopefully you understand. And we are recording this lesson. If you have some issue, you can ask me right now, or you can see this lesson again. So when you will see this lesson again, if you will have any problem, you can do it then. What you say? And the actual task is to make that quadratic equation. Then the rest of the thing is easy. You have to apply the quadratic formula, and you have to find out the value of the x, and then you have to do whatever he asks you. So the actual task is to convert the given story into a quadratic equation. Should we start the next one? This was question number 14.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I go to the next question? Okay, so we are moving to the next question. The next question is question number 15, showing up on your screen. Amira travels by coach from Singapore to Penang, Penang, which are 700 kilometers apart, to visit her grandparents. Parents. She returns to Singapore by car at an average speed which is 30 kilometers per hour, greater than that of a coach. So, let me. Okay, so let her in. Who's I don't know where she is. Somebody saying, "Let me in." Okay, so you are in. Okay, so we are in the exercise 1D and question number 17. Amira travels by coach from Singapore to Penang, which are 700 kilometer apart. To visit her grandparents, she returns to Singapore by car at an average speed which is 30 kilometer per hour, greater than that of a coach. If the average speed of the car is x kilometer per hour and the time taken for the whole journey is 20 hours, formulate an equation in x and show that it reduces to x squared minus 100x plus 1050 equals to 0. Solve the equation, this giving you both your answers correct to two decimal places. Find the time taken for the return journey. So she went to from Singapore to her grandparents by a coach, and she returned by a car. Okay, but there is a problem. The here we have he has done a trick with you, and let me show you that trick. Okay, hopefully this is showing up on your screen. So here with the diagram, I have tried to here I have Singapore. Here is the Penang, and it's the distance between both the places is 700 kilometer. She went there on a coach, and she came back on a car. He said that the speed of the car is x. The speed of the car is x. Now the trick here, he used the word, he says the speed of the car is x and the speed of the car is 30 kilometer per hour more than the coach. It's a very tricky statement. So what's the speed of the coach? You see, he's used the word, he said that the speed of the car is suppose x and the speed of the car is 30 kilometer per hour more than the speed of the coach. So what will be the speed of the coach then in terms of x? The speed of the coach will be 30 kilometer less than the speed of the car. Speed of the car has been supposed as x, so the speed of the coach will be x minus 30. This is the first tricky portion of this question. So the speed of the coach with which he is going from Singapore to Penang, that is x minus 30 kilometer per hour, and the speed at which he came back, that is x kilometer per hour. He went there on a coach and came back on a car. So when he went there, the distance traveled is 700 kilometer and the speed is x minus 30 kilometer per hour. So the time taken, the time is equal to distance divided by speed. So the distance is 700 and the speed is x minus 30. So it will be 700 divided by x minus 30. So you can see here that I have shown here that the T1 is 700 divided by x minus 30. Now, when he came back, the distance is still the same. So when he came from Penang to the Singapore, the distance is still 700 kilometer, but his speed is x kilometer per hour. So the time taken, I have represented that with the T2, and that will be 700 divided by x. So we know how much time it took in going there, and we know how much time it took from coming back to Singapore. So the total time in the question, he says the total time of the journey going and coming back is 20 hours. So it means add both the times. So T1 plus T2, T1 plus T2 will be equals to 20. So now you can see that T1 plus T2 is equals to 20. So I will put the value 700 divided by x minus 30 plus 700 divided by x is equals to 20. So this is x minus 30, sorry. And I will take the LCM. In the LCM, what we will have an x, and both the denominators, they will come in the LCM. I will divide the LCM with this denominator. So x minus 30 will be cancelled. This x will be left. That will multiply with the numerator, that is 700. So 700 bracket x plus, and when I will divide this LCM with this denominator, x and x will be cancelled. You will have x minus 30 left, and that will multiply with the numerator, which is 700 bracket x minus 30. So this 700x, sorry, this 700 multiply with this bracket, 700x minus 21 1000 divided by, I multiply with this x with this bracket, it will give you x square minus 30x equals to 20. So now this 700x plus 700x, that will give you 1400x minus 21,000 equals to this, will go on that side and it will multiply with the 20. So you will have 20 bracket x square minus 30x bracket close. So here we will have, take these two to the other side so that they will go to the right side. So you will have 20x square minus this 20 and 30, and that makes you 600x. And that this 1400x, when it will go to the other side, it will become minus 1400x plus, and that will be 21,000 equals to 0. So we will have 20x square minus 2000x minus 2000x plus 21,000 equals to 0. And you can see I can take the 20 common. They all can be divided with the 20. So I took 20 common. So then this 20 will go to the other side. It will divide with the 0. 0 divided by, 0 divided by 20, sorry. And that will give you 0. So you now we have the equation x square minus 100x plus 105 equals to 0. So you know that a, the coefficient of x square that we call is a is equals to 1, and the coefficient of the x is minus 100. Coefficient of sorry, the constant term is 1050. Now, then we wrote the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is x is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Substitute the value of the a, b, and c in that formula. You can see here that I have substituted those values. The b is minus 100. So you can see how neatly you have to put brackets around it, because this negative and this negative will make it positive 100. And especially here you have to put the bracket, because this square should be on the negative also, because you have to take the square of the b, and the value of the b is minus 100. So when you take its square, this answer will be a positive, and 100 square will be 10,000. When you multiply minus 4 with the 1050, it gives you 4200. So you subtract them. Let me show you the remaining portion. Here we go. So here we have, so you will have 100 and plus minus under root, so it will be 5800. So when you take its square root by using a calculator, that will be 76.16. So now you have two situations. One situation will be x plus 76.16 equals to divided by 2 equals to, and that will give you 88.08. And the next situation is x equals to 100 minus 76.16 equals to divided by 2 equals to, and that gives you 11.2, 11.92. I neglected this value. Why I neglected this value? This value, let me show you. It's very simple. Let me show you. X minus 30. So I cannot take the x as 11.92, because if I take the value of the x as 11.92, this will have a negative answer. Here the speed will become negative, which is not possible. So I will neglect this value. X value 11.92 has been neglected. So now I will only the x value, which is 88.08, that will be used in the further process. His question was how much the time it will take to return home. So he came home by a car, and his speed and the time was t2, and that is 700 divided by x. So put the value of the x which you have chosen, that's 700 divided by x value is 88.08. Just put it and do the calculation. 700 divided by 88.08, and that will give you 7.95. 7.95 hours. So this is how you do this question. So this was question number 15. Let me reduce the size so you can see the whole question at a single glance. Okay. So that was the question number 15. Hopefully you have understood. These questions, these story sums on the quadratic equations Every year they come in the paper. They are a must part of the paper too. Do you understand this question?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we move to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we go to the next question? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so we are going to the next question. The next question coming up, that's question number 16. The question number 16 is showing up on your screen. A tank, when full, can contain 1500 liter of water. Pump A can fill water into the tank at a rate of X liters per minute. Before I read the further question, let me tell you one thing. A new term, we call it rate of flow. Rate of flow. Rate of flow is equals to the volume divided by the time taken that we use for the taps, for the pumps, for the pipes. Rate of flow is equals to volume divided by time. So if you want to find out time taken by the pump to fill a certain volume, the time will be equals to volume divided by rate of flow. Here in the first two sentences, he told you that I need 1500 liter of water to fill a tank, and the rate of flow is X liters per minute. Per minute. So the first question he's asking is how much time it will take for the pump A to fill that tank. So the time taken is equals to volume divided by rate of flow. Volume is 1500 liter and the rate of flow is X liters per minute. So this will be 1500 divided by X, and that will be in minutes. Remember, that will be in minutes because the rate of flow is liters per minute. The second, then he says pump B can fill the water into the tank at a rate of X plus 50 liters per minute. Now he's talking about another pump, the pump B, and it has to fill the same tank. So the volume is 1500 liters, and the rate of flow of the tank, pump B, sorry, that is X plus 50 liters per minute. So if you want to find out how much time, well, it says write down expression in terms of X for the number of minutes taken by the pump B to fill the tank completely. So the T2 or the time for the tank pump B to fill the tank is volume divided by rate of flow. The volume is 1500 liter and the rate of flow is X plus 50. So that will be T2. If a pump A takes 30 seconds longer than the pump B, so the time taken by the pump A is 30 seconds longer than the time taken by the pump B. To fill the tank completely, formulate an equation in X to represent this information and show that it reduces to this X square plus 50X plus, minus 150,000 equals to 0. So you see the time taken by the pump A and the time taken by the pump B. The pump A will take 30 seconds longer, but the important thing is that the time one and the time two, they both will be in minutes. So I will convert this 30 seconds into minutes. How you convert seconds into minutes? You divide it with the 60. Because in 1 minute there are 60 seconds. So when you want to convert seconds into minutes, you divide it with the 60. Then he says solve the equation, and equation x squared plus 50x minus 150,000 equals 0. Giving both your answer correct to two decimal places. Okay, we will apply quadratic formula and we will solve it. Find the time taken for the pump B to fill the tank completely. Giving your answer in minutes and seconds. Correct to the nearest second. Okay, so let's go to the solution. So one thing which is new for you all is that this terminology, and this is question number 16, rate of flow. Rate of flow is equals to the volume divided by the time taken. So if you want to find out the time taken, that will be equals to volume divided by the rate of flow. So in for the pump A, it is given to us that the time the water it has to fill is 1500 liter. The rate is x liters per minute. So how much time it will take? The time is equal to volume divided by rate. So it will be 1500 divided by x, and that will be in minutes. By mistake, I wrote here hours, but this is in minutes. Okay. So then we are talking about the pump B. Its volume, the volume it has to fill is 1500 liters, and its rate is x plus 50 liters per minute. And how much time it will take? So the time taken will be volume divided by the rate of flow, and it will be 1500 divided by x plus 50. And I by mistake wrote here hours. This is not hour, this is minute. Okay, make this correction. This is minutes. Okay, so he told us that the tank, the pump A took 30 seconds longer than the pump B to fill that tank. So the time of A minus time of B equals to 30 seconds. But the important thing is that the time of A is in minutes and the time of B is also in minutes. So time of A is 1500 divided by x minus time of B is 1500 divided by x plus 50 and equals to 30. So I divided 30 with 60 to convert it into minutes. So now you can see this will be 1 by 2, and here I have taken the LCM. Both the denominators will come in the LCM, and then I will divide this LCM with this denominator. X and x will be cancelled. This x plus 50 will be left, and that will multiply with this numerator. So here you will have 1500 bracket start x plus 50 bracket close. Then I will divide this LCM with this second denominator, and x plus 50 and x plus 50 will be cancelled. This x will be left, that will multiply with the numerator here. So here we have minus 1500x. So when this 1500 will multiply with this bracket, it will give you 1500x plus 50 multiply 1500, that give you 75,000. Then we have here minus 1500x. This positive 1500x and minus 1500x, they both will be cancelled with each other. So you will be left only with the 75,000. So here you have 1 by 2. We will do the cross multiplication. This 2 will multiply with the 75,000 equals to this 1 will multiply with this x square plus 50x. So you will have x square plus 50x here and here. Then you bring this whole thing to the other side, to the right side. So you will have x square plus 50x minus 150,000 equals to 0. So now you can see this is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation in its standard form. So I will note down what is the value of the coefficient of x square, what's the value of the coefficient of x, and what's the value of the constant. Here the A is 1, the B is 50, and the C is minus 150,000. Then I will write the quadratic formula, that is minus b under root plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So I will put the values of the b and the c and the a. I will substitute those values here, and you can see here I have entered the values. So this now minus it will become plus, this will become 2500, and this will give you 600,000. So I will add them. I will get this. This is a game of calculator. You find the square root of this thing, and here you go. So this is the. So this will be the situation after the under root. Here you have two situations. One is minus 50 minus 776.21 equals to divided by 2. The value will be minus 413.10. The second situation will be x equals to minus 50 plus 776.21 equals to divided by 2 equals to, and that will be 363.105. So that negative value, I will neglect that value. So I'm going with this positive value of the x. So their question was how much time the pump B will take. The time taken by the pump B is given by T2, and its formula, as in the start of the question we have noted down, is 1500 divided by x plus 50. Put in the substitute the value of the x, and x is equal to 363.105. Just put that value in that and do the calculation. The final answer will be 3.63 minutes. But in the question they say Your answer should be in minutes and seconds. So 3.63 minutes means, so 3 minutes. So I will multiply 0.63 with 60. That will give me seconds. So when you multiply 0.63 with the 60, it gives you 38 seconds. So the total time taken by the pump B to fill that tank is 3 minutes 38 seconds. So this is the whole question. So let me reduce the size so you can see the whole question together. So now this whole question is showing up on your screen. They are little tricky questions. Hopefully you have understood. What you say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They are little tricky, but if you pay attention and do them at your home, you will able to understand them. I'm also trying so that you understand. Okay. So very quickly we are moving to, this is the last question of today's lesson, and he's here we have a question about the money exchange. He says that 2 weeks before Nora went to New York for a holiday, she exchanged 200 2,000 Singapore dollars into US dollars at Sammy's money exchange at a rate of 1 US dollar equals to X Singapore dollars. Write down an expression in terms of X for the amount of US dollars she received from the Sammy's money exchange. Okay. And then he says 1 week before her holiday, she exchanged another 1,000 Singapore dollars into US dollars at Chan's money exchange at a rate of 1 US dollar equals to X plus 0.05 Singapore dollar. Write down an expression in terms of X for the amount of US dollars she receives from Chan's money exchange. If Nora received a total of 2370 US dollars from the two money exchanges, formulate an equation in X and show that it reduces to this equation. So we have this equation. Solve this equation giving both of your answer correct to two decimal places, and then she says find the exchange rate between Singapore dollar and US dollar offered by the chance money exchange. Okay, so there's no very simple question. It's about money exchange. Okay, so let me show you how we do this. Try to understand. If you have studied that chapter 5, but you have not yet studied, that is in chapter 5 of D3. Okay, so here it's showing up on your screen Sammy's money exchange, US dollar and Singapore dollar. 1 US dollar is equals to X Singapore dollars. She converted 2,000 Singapore dollars into US dollars. So, how much money she will get in US dollars? So I will, this is the question mark. Okay. So I'm using the process of proportion. So I will write 1 by U, I want to find US dollars, equals to X divided by 2000. So cross multiply it. And so U1 will be equals to 2000 divided by X. So this is how I found that how much US dollars she will get. Okay, then she went to the next money exchange. That's Chan's money exchange. There, the rate of exchange was a little different. 1 US dollar was equals to X plus 0.05 Singapore dollar. There, she exchanged 1,000 Singapore dollars for the US dollars. And how much US dollars she will get? So I will suppose it's US dollars. So I will write it in the fraction 1 by U equals to, I will convert this proportion into the fraction X plus 0.05 divided by 1,000. We will cross multiply it. So you will have U bracket X plus 0.05 bracket close equals to 1,000. So I will make this U alone. I will call it U2, the amount, the second time she gets, and I will take this bracket downstairs on the other side. So we will have U2 will be equals to 1000 divided by X plus 0.05. She says by these two exchanges, the total US dollar she get is 2370. So U1 plus U2 equals to 2,370 US dollars. The U1 value in terms of X is 2000 by X plus the U2 value is 1000 divided by X plus 0.05 equals the total amount is 2370. So now what we will do, we will take the LCM. Here the LCM will be both these denominators. They will come in the LCM. So when I will divide the LCM with this denominator, X and X will be gone. This numerator will multiply with this denominator. Sorry, this whatever is the left that will multiply with the numerator here. So 2000 multiply with X plus 0.05 bracket close. Then I will divide this LCM with this denominator and they both will be cancelled. X will be left, that will multiply with the 1000. Now here you open this 2000 multiply X, that give you 2000 X. 2000 multiply 0.05, that give you 100 and 1000 X. So this 2000 and 1000, that makes 3000 X, and plus 100 equals to, you take this thing to the right side. So 2370 will multiply with this, that's X square plus X square plus 0.05 X. From here I'm going up here. So it will be like this, and you bring these two to the right side. So you will have 2370 X square plus 118.5 X minus 3000 X minus 100 equals to 0. So you will have 2370 X square minus. So you see, if I from these two, it will give you minus 2881.5 X minus 100. So from these three terms, I have taken the 10 common. So when you take 10 common, it will be 237 X square minus 288.15 X minus 10 equals to 0. So this 10 will go to the other side. It will divide with 0 divided by 10, and that will be 0. So you are left with 237x square minus 288.15x minus 10 equals to 0. This is the equation he asked you to make. And then he asked you to solve it. Now this is a standard quadratic equation. So we will note down the value of the A, B, and C. The coefficient of x square is A, that's 237. The coefficient of the B is 288.15. The constant term here is x. Here is minus 10. So we wrote the quadratic formula. You can see here we have written the quadratic formula. And minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Put the value, substitute the value of the A, B, and C. Very carefully put the values of A, B, and C. You can see here, because here the B value is minus 288. So that negative will make it positive. Here, when you take whole square of the B, this negative should be inside the bracket. When you take the square, the answer will be positive. So this minus and this minus will also become positive. So when you do it on the calculator, so you will get 92510.42. And when you take its under root, it will be 304.16. Here the value of A, due to the value of the A, this will become 474. So here we have two situations, and in both the situations, once I will go by the positive sign, that is 288.15 plus 304.16 equals to divided by 474, and the final answer will be 1.25. The other situation will be 288.15 minus 304.16 equals to divided by 474 equals to, and that will give you minus 0.034. This negative value, I will neglect this value. I'm going with this positive value only. Okay. So at Chan's, whatever the name is, I think Shan, whatever you can call it. A money exchange, the rate was US dollar. $1 was equals to X plus 0.05 Singapore dollar. So put the value of X here. So 1.25 plus 0.05, and that will give you 1.30 Singapore dollar. So it means $1 is equals to 1.30 Singapore dollars. So this question is about the money exchange. Hopefully you have understood. So that's So the whole question is now showing up on your screen. I hope you can see this whole thing. So what you say? Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah. So this is the last question for today, and tomorrow when we will have lesson, we will work on further. We have two more questions to complete this exercise. So I think this is enough for today. So I will stop the recording. So thank you very much, everybody, and it was pleasure teaching you. So have a good day. God bless you all. Thank you.